Hi guys, I hope you're having a great day. I wanted to talk a little bit about what happened at the store just now, a few minutes ago. And before I get into my story, I want to just give a wonderful call out to Ty. I love you, Ty, so much. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for hearing me and for respecting me. I've had a hard time expressing myself over the years, and because I was in an abusive relationship for so long, it was hard for me to find my voice, and it was hard for me to stick up for myself. But this event over the last year has really forced me to stand in my truth, whatever it is. If I'm mad, I'll share. If I'm sad, I'll share. And you guys have seen all sides to me. And I shared with Ty how I felt. He pissed me off about something, and I let him know. And he came back with the most gracious apology. And I have never had anybody apologize to me before. Not like that. Not in a sense that harbored true forgiveness. True forgiveness happens when you can recognize what you've done wrong and you can walk in a new direction. And true forgiveness happened today with Ty. And I'm so grateful that I was able to witness that, because Ty did something that not a lot of people know how to do. It's hard for people to say that they've been wrong, and it's hard for people to say, I'm sorry. And I'm quite comfortable acknowledging when I've been wrong, and I don't mind saying sorry. But being on the receiving end of an apology is the best feeling, and being recognized and being apologized to, it makes a world of difference. I have so much more respect for Ty because he has accepted his wrongdoing. And I mean, it wasn't even a wrongdoing. He didn't do anything wrong, but he owned it, he apologized, and now we're moving forward stronger. I wasn't expecting that. I've never been apologized to. So being on the receiving end of that, it warmed my heart. And it put me in such a space of love today that when I was out in the battlefield, all I had was love. I had love for all the people that were angry with me for not wearing a mask. And, I have love for people that get mad at me for revealing these truths that we're finding ourselves in. And sometimes I can react. Like sometimes when I read a post, I'll react with a reply. Or normally if a woman was yelling at me in the shop because I wasn't wearing a mask, I'd be quite strong in the truth that I know. But today I just decided to just take things from a different perspective, not from my ego, but from my heart. And it makes a world of difference. So today I was at the grocery store and I was, of course, not wearing a mask. And I'm going to let you guys know I didn't wear a mask on the bus either. And I just think that it's how you hold yourself. Like, didn't get questioned on the bus. I mean, I did have my sheriff's badge. If anybody questions me, I have my sheriff's badge. And I can let them know that I'm an international common law sheriff. I've been sworn in. But that, when you're talking to somebody who's wearing a mask, who's living in fear, and they're in the grocery store, they are just angry. And I explained to her that I was a health and wellness expert and that there was no virus. And they were ganging up on me. There was three people ganging up on me, and one of them didn't even have a mask on. But I just held my ground, and I smiled, and I just calmly said that there is no virus, that this is a false flag, it's for control. And they didn't like it. They didn't like it at all. And I was going to post something rude afterwards, like, do your research, or, I was going to say something in a post about that event. But I decided to just spread love and just share my love with her. And that feels so much better than trying to prove that I'm right. So, and also there was a woman that was witnessing all of this. And as soon as the 3-pack left, she looked at me and she said, "I know, you're right." And I said, "Thank you so much. Thank you." I said, "You don't need to wear your mask." She says, "I don't want to get fined." She goes, "But I know that you're right." And she had a little boy with her. And I said, "Oh, your boy is just gorgeous." I said, "You don't put a mask on him." She goes, "No, I won't." And I said, I didn't have any Mothers for Truth flyers with me. I need to start handing those out again. mothersfortruth.com/CV19. I have this flyer that explains everything, and I started handing these flyers out at the very beginning because I knew from the very beginning that this was a hoax. But I didn't have a flyer, but I explained to her, and she got it. She knew. So it's up to us, you guys, the ones that are seeing clearly, to educate these businesses and explain to them what is happening right now. Because I'm watching the news. I'm being forced to watch the news. Mind you, I stopped watching the news 3 years ago, longer than that, 4 or 5 years ago, when I realized that TV was a weapon that they use to brainwash us and to control our minds. So I don't listen to the news, and I don't buy the bullshit that they spew out, but I do watch the news just to see where they're taking society. And what I'm seeing on the screen angers me. This is the multi-leveled psychological warfare that's happening right now, is the calling out of the people being super spreaders, forced to stay home, tracking and tracing every single move, and manipulating in thinking that they are almost like an outcast. I mean, I can't even imagine what it would feel like if you got one of those texts saying that you have to stay home for 2 weeks because you are a super spreader. You walked by a store, and because we tracked you walking by a store, you are now a super spreader. Can you imagine what it feels like if you were one of those people who got the call on your text to tell you to stay home? Or better yet, let's say that you were getting married this weekend and you've had to cancel your wedding because they told you you couldn't have more than 10 people at your venue, or funerals, or birthday parties. Our whole lives have been halted, thrown into a world where we have no touch, we have no socializing, we have no dancing, we have no singing, and we are now being forced to stay inside. Well, I'm not. When you know the law, you don't have to be forced to do anything. They are forcing your name, your legal straw man, the instrument that they use to take tax and fine you. They're using that name, your legal entity, corporate entity, legal straw man. They're using that name to enslave you. They're using the statutory system to enslave you. And unfortunately, all the people wearing masks don't know the difference between statutory law and natural law. And they don't know how they're being conned through their name, through their birth certificate, through these rules and regulations, through the TV. It's so sad to see. I mean, living the lie is one thing, but seeing people being manipulated, I can't be angry at these people. I can't have any negative feelings for them because they are the victims here. They are being lied to. They are being manipulated. They are being pushed with fear. It's disgusting to see people's lives being stopped and canceled. Everything is on hold. People in the UK are in complete lockdown. My friend from Ireland can't go to England. People here in Australia can't travel from state to state. These people do not have a right to govern us. No. They have assumed this right. They have tricked us into believing that they have the authority to control us. And they don't. The idea of having a government that cared about you, that's such a wonderful vision. And the effort that these people are putting through the TV of really wanting you to stay safe and stay home and don't leave and track and trace and test. It appears that they really do care. It appears they care. But they don't. They don't care. I know for a fact they don't care. I've already done my research into these people. I know who they are. So, and I've also experienced it firsthand. I've been inside the courtroom. I talked to the judge. I told her my problems. She doesn't care. I told her I was a victim of parental alienation. She didn't care. So, I know now what we're up against. And the only way we're going to bring this down is through love and through understanding, inner standing. Inner standing, knowing that we are all here together on this journey. It's us against them. And if you're not seeing clearly now, and you're wearing a mask, and you're living fear, your time's almost up. There is a depopulation plan on the planet, and it's in full swing right now. They want to cull 7 billion people off the planet by 2030. So we need to be spreading love out to these people who are going to become deceased if they don't figure this out. They are all victims of this crime. So to get mad at them is not doing anything. We need to be in love. We need to be in our hearts. And we need to, as calmly as possible, explain to these people what's going on. So unlike the mob at the grocery store who attacked me, I was able to talk to somebody on the bus, and it was a young girl. She was wearing a mask. And I looked to her and I said, "You can take your mask off." She says, "I don't like wearing the mask. I could barely breathe." I said, "You're not supposed to be wearing a mask. Masks are the most unhealthiest things that you can do. They cause bacterial pneumonia. Bacterial pneumonia can kill you." I said, "Did you know that?" And she said, "No." And she's a young girl. Probably, 18, 20, I don't know, young. Probably younger, maybe 16. And we've connected on Facebook. And she also said, I don't want to be fined. And I said, those fines are unlawful. They would never stand up in court. You don't have to pay them. And she smiled. She felt relieved. And I said, it's going to take a little while for you to understand how this works. But you're young, and by the time you're my age, you would have figured it out. So I just wanted to share that love really is the answer. And again, I want to say to Ty that his apology to me was so beautiful that if everybody just operated that way to create a forgiveness and so we can move forward in a new direction, that is movement. That is movement, folks. That's what the problem is right now. People are holding on to their anger and they're not letting it be known. And I didn't share my anger for 17 years through my divorce. Because I just wanted to be, didn't want to start any fights, and I just wanted to be at peace. And no, my ex abused me for 17 years. And I did stick up for myself, but when you're dealing with somebody who has narcissistic personality disorder, well, it's hard to find your voice. So, Ty, again, thank you so much for allowing me to have my voice and for seeing me and honoring me and for apologizing so that we could have forgiveness. It's the best feeling in the world. So if you're on the fence right now, if there's somebody that you want to apologize to, I would say do it. The person on the other end will feel so good, but you will also feel good. I know I feel good when I apologize. All right, you guys. I'm sending you guys all my love for now. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good night.